Okay, so I'll so we have collection of, database is a collection of schemas, and schemas are the collection of tables, and table is a collection of data organized in rows and columns, right? So we have keys as well, like primary key, foreign key, right? How typical employee table looks like. Okay, so if I open this, so basically if I open this, so this is a Excel sheet, and where we are organizing these things like, table related stuff in this Excel sheet. So employee ID is a unique identifier of any record. Okay, and employee name is the name, and maybe if we could see department, so department is one more column, and then salary, let it be anything else. And now I will have a unique key, right? Because employee ID should be unique. It should be unique for everyone, like how we have Aadhaar card in India. So that is what employee ID for any organization. So if you have one, and then Vinay, and salary, something HR department, and then salary is 20,000. So this what for other record you'll have two, okay, and something Ajay and IT, and then 25,000. So this is what how typical DBMS or RDBMS table will look like. So this means why it is RDBMS. So relational database. It has specific set of columns. Okay. So every column has every record has fixed number of columns. Okay. Maybe you might not be having data for department. Might be this can be null, but however you have fixed schema, right? Fixed schema in the sense basically columns. Okay. So if we talk about this schema, and whatever I refer that schema, so a table has fixed schema. So that means, so this is schema, but even if I talk about, even I say that table has fixed schema, that means columns. Okay, so we also call schema as metadata or columns. So there are a number of names for that. So not only this schema, so this is something, a database is a collection of schemas. Schemas are the collection of tables. So if I talk about schema of the table, so that means employee ID, employee name, department is also schema. And if I ask you that in which schema this table is available, so then you can ask, you can say you can say yesterday as I told you, this is school database, and then this is student schema, and it can have also teacher schema. In that teachers and student schema you might be having tables. Okay, student information table in the student schema, and teachers information table in the teacher schema. So that I'm not writing it here. Yeah, but here, so since Vinay is recognized by employee ID 1, so this employee ID can be a primary key. Okay, so now in employees table, so employee ID can be a primary key. So in employees table, employee ID is primary key. So primary key means it shouldn't be null. Okay, it shouldn't be null. So that means primary key is nothing but primary key is not null. Okay, it shouldn't be null. Plus it should be unique. Okay, unique in the sense. So if you talk about Aadhaar card in India, so let's suppose you have a database table called Indians. Okay, you have 121 billions of Indians records in that particular table, and every Aadhaar card is unique, right? So likewise, it should be unique. Okay, and then it should be not null. That means that for every record. Okay, let's suppose if I am trying to add this particular record in this employee table, so it is definitely that employee ID should be present. It shouldn't be like this null, comma, Lokesh, and then some HR IT, and then 30,000. So it shouldn't be like this, because primary key means it should be not null as well as unique. Okay, so this is what primary key is. So maybe you can have primary key, or else you no need to have. I mean, it depends. So maybe it doesn't mean that you have mandatorily the primary key table. It's not like that. You can create a table without primary key as well. It's your wish, but yeah, for typical, if you look at the table, basically if it's a employees table, definitely you should be having the primary key, right? Because each employee is recognized by some identifier. So that's why you will be having primary key for employees kind of table. And when coming to foreign key, okay, so foreign key in the sense, if I talk about employees table, okay, we have employee id comma employee name comma department. Okay, let me cut short it to dept and salary. Okay, we have this employees table. And let's suppose if I have employees address table, or else let's suppose I write employees project. Okay, so employees project table, that means this employees project will have employee id comma project, project id. Okay, so this means that particular employees, let's suppose you have, let's suppose if we talk about TCS, okay, so they have a number of projects and they have somewhere around 7 lakhs employees. So each employee should be assigned to some of the other project, right? So now I will have employee ID here, comma project ID, right? So this is what mapping is. Basically, this is what mapping is. Now, so now my employee ID, okay, here in this case, if I'll write it here employee ID is primary key. Okay, here the employee ID is foreign key. So this is foreign key, right? So that means I can insert the value, okay, into this employees project table if this employee ID is available employee table. So that means he should be employee of organization, right? If you're trying to insert some value, let's suppose we have only two employees in employees table, like, I have these three records, 1 2 3 with employee IDs. Okay, and right now I have these three employees in project info table. Sorry, like employees project table, like, one with Vinay assigned to some project ID called project one, and the other with two assigned with project two, and three with some other project same, also assigned to some project one. Okay, now if I try to insert, simply if I try to insert 4 comma some project one, okay, this kind of record, like since we have two columns, I'm trying to insert, one is employee ID, one is project ID. So this should throw error, because here if you could see, this employee ID foreign key is referencing primary key of employees table. Okay, so employee ID is foreign key and is referring primary key of employees table. So that means whenever you try to insert employee 4, employee ID 4 and project 1, it should throw error because this employee 4 is not available in the employees table. So before getting into project, that particular employee, that particular person should be an employee, right? So ideally, if you think logically, this particular person should be an employee of employees, should be an employee in the employees table, right? So that is what it is trying to tell. Foreign key means if employee is a foreign key in this employees project table, and it is referring to employees, employees table primary key. So that means whatever record available in the employees table itself, that we will be trying to, that we will be able to insert it into the project, I mean employees project table. So are you clear till here? So that we will go with the hands-on regarding these things what we have discussed. So what is primary key? What is foreign key? So these two concepts are clear. Hello. Okay. Yes. Are you clear with the Sindhu and Priyanka? You can also type here, so else you can unmute yourself. Okay. Okay, perfect. So how about you,
Yes,
Logan?
Vinay.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we will get into the hands-on. So let me check if I have any. Okay, let us create first, how to create a database. So I'll just try to create a database, create database demo db3. So I'm just creating a database using this syntax, create database demo db3. So if I just enlarge it, okay. So I'll just in MySQL Workbench, you have to select this and then you can click on this fire query. Okay, that means executing something. So if I select whatever piece I select, so that will be executed. So I'll just execute this. Now you can see this whatever green, okay, green status. That means this query is executed successfully. If it is in wrong symbol state, that means there is an error and that will be shown up in the message as well. So now if I simply select show databases, let me verify that whether I have created or not. Okay, whether the database is created or not. So if I could see there are so many databases available here. So if you could see demo db3 that we have created, that is available. So now I'll just try to create a create table syntax. So I'll just write create table. Okay, let me write employees. Okay, and now I'll open and close the brackets, and then now I'll just write employee id. It's int. Okay, I'm writing it as int and primary key. So that means I'm assigning this employee id as primary key. So this is what it is. It's a column name. Okay, first I'll write everything and I'll discuss about this. Employee name string. I don't think so string is available. Let me add varchar of 50. Okay, that means 50 character can it will be able to accommodate. So department varchar, I'll make it as 10, and then we have salary. Salary, it should be in red basically. So I'm just writing like this. Huh. So create table is a syntax for creating something. Okay, something in the sense table. So here is a employees table name. So whatever, if you wanted to give some other thing, other name, you can write employees instead of that. You can write anything. And now you will be opening the brackets and closing the brackets, and then employee ID here. That is a column name, and int is a data type. So that means employee ID is integer. Okay, so you cannot pass some variable, I mean character value, like you cannot pass one like a b c d kind of characters alphabets in the place of employee id, because we already defined it is int. Okay, now when we talk about primary key, so that means this whenever you insert some value in this is like employees table, it should be it should be inserted. It is required field. Okay, basically whenever you go to some, whenever you are filling some application, application or form over some website, there is a star mark over there, right, which is required. So in that way itself, so primary key means it shouldn't be null. Okay, you have to insert mandatory. So this employee ID should be mandatorily inserted, and then once that is done, it should be unique as well. So let's suppose if we have three records. Okay, we already inserted three records. Okay, and then we are trying to insert again three. So in that case, it won't be accepted. It will be throwing error, since primary key is nothing but it's a not null plus unique. So two constraints are added up for the primary key. So two rules basically. So again, you give a comma and then employee name and varchar of 50. So that means varchar means string. So it can accept string in database language, varying character. Okay, that means varchar means varying character. So if I have written, I have written 50. That means up to 50 length. Okay, if you talk about v I and y, it's 5 characters, right? So in the same way, it can accept till 50 letters. So department is same thing, and salary again it's int. So closing the brackets. Now I'll try to execute. Yeah, before doing this, so I'll try to if I simply let me show you what it throws. I mean which kind of error it throws. I'll just try to execute this. So it is throwing error, no database selected. Okay, so this particular MySQL workbench is not able to understand where to create this employees table. So either you can simply write use demo db3 and hit a, just execute this, or else for this particular query itself, you want, if you want demo db3 to use, you can just simply write this and dot. So this is how you select table when you don't want to use demo db. So if I exit this, it will be created. Okay, it will be created. But again, if I create some other thing, so at that time also I have to prefix, every time I have to prefix with database like this. But if I run this, if I remove this, and if I just simply use demo db3, okay, for this particular session, okay, for this particular session wherever I execute, so now this demo db3 is used until you prefix some value with, if I wanted to right now, I create this. Okay, this is executed. Use demo db is executed. That means for this session, you will be able to use demo db3. Whatever you create without any prefix of the database name for the tables, you will be like by default, you will be creating that things in demo db3. So now I will execute this. So you can see create table employees is successfully created. You can see that green tick. So that means this is created. Now, okay, since I use demo db3, now if I simply write show tables, so the tables will be showed from the demo db3. So now I am writing show tables. Okay, you can see one table is available in demo db3. So this is what primary key is. Now if I try to insert the values, okay, insert into
Uh,
employees.
Sorry, Vinay,
Yes.
to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I have a doubt that can you please once open the is so in that if we don't use that use demo db3, doesn't it take the like
Yeah.
what do we say? If we don't
If
use
you
the demo
don't,
db3,
yeah,
yeah,
if you don't use demo db3, I mean use demo db3 and simply try to create this, right? Okay. So at that time, I have showed you the error. No database is
yeah,
selected. So that means this
yeah,
MySQL
I
workbench is
understood.
not able to. Yeah.
But I'm unable to explain you.
Okay, okay. Let me, try to figure out myself. Like your question might be that if I don't select and execute this, okay, without using demo DB, so no database is selected. But if I don't want to use demo DB3, so in that case, you can simply take out this and just paste it here and dot. So then this means it is referring the table to create in demo DB3. So
Uh,
I think that was your question.
will not be there any like the previous
Default.
yeah,
Okay, you
default
mean.
databases. So in that case, whether it won't be like saved into that table in
Okay,
that
okay, by
database
default.
instead of
So in
using.
this,
Did you
yes, correct.
understood my point?
I understood. So let's suppose you mean that I just now open
Like the
MySQL
default one,
page.
whether it does, it will be saved in the default one or not. My doubt is about.
No, no. Actually, for this, for this MySQL Workbench, we don't have default databases. So if you could see,
Okay.
so this demo DB, whatever is manually created by me, and demo DB2 is
Yeah.
manually created by me for the other batch. So this is the one which I created for your batch. And when coming to information schema, so that is something related to internal MySQL related stuff. Okay, it's not created by me; it's automatically created by MySQL server, and even a MySQL also created by MySQL server, and performance schema also that is created by MySQL and sys. So these three last four are not ours. This is not the users. This is like MySQL
The
related
system
stuff.
generated one.
Yeah, automated. So there is no, automated, I mean by default databases. But yeah, your concept of this default database is available in Hive. Okay, Hive in the sense, in future you will be learning that Hive. So if you not don't use any database and create something, it automatically creates in default database. We also have, default DEFAULT kind of database. So whatever table you create, so that table will be created in default database. But yeah, however, if you're writing some script, definitely you will not even forget to use database. So mostly since this is a query session, so we are using use demo db, but most of the time you definitely you'll be using this kind of syntax.
So, and one more thing. So now you are using demo DB3. Will
Hmm.
it show us anywhere like in the screen whether we are using this database or the other database?
I won't think so. I don't think so. It won't show anywhere.
Because if you
What
see
is the
on your
current,
screen to the left,
yeah, if you see to the left, so there are so many dbs. So if I
yeah,
just
like
use
that.
this,
If you check whether demo DB3 will be which database we are using.
no, I don't think so. That I think let me try and check if I now it is on. I didn't came across this question, but yeah, if I just you can see this is in bold letters. If I simply use
No,
demo
because I have some
db2 and
idea regarding that Microsoft
yeah,
SQL SQL,
yes,
so I just
yes.
have some
If you are
doubt.
using so yeah, if you are using use demo db again, now you can see this is in bold letters. Okay, and if I
Yeah, yeah.
execute this, so that means db3 is in
It
bold
is
letters. So that means
highlighting.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this is getting highlighted, so you can make use of it.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, till here you are fine, right? Primary key concept is fine. So now I'll try to enter some records, employees and values. So if you are planning to write, write it in a sequence how you ordered it, so you need to write column names. Okay, insert into employees values directly. I can give one comma Vinay comma HR. Okay, Vinay should be in this way, and then HR and then salary, right? So I'll make it as 5,000. So this is how I insert the data. Okay, so if I simply select the data, select star. So star means all columns. So you can see one Vinay HR. So just ignore this null values. The last one, it's a default column, sorry, record. So I mean, it is not even a record. Just it's MySQL issue. So not an issue, but basically just ignore that column. So however, nothing is null. Actually, there is only one record, but still it shows null null null. So which is not. Maybe they might remove this issue in future, I guess. So if you could say select star from employees, so which is one record which I have inserted. So now I'll try to insert one more time. Okay, same query I try to insert it. Okay, maybe I'll change this Vinay to some other value. Okay, I'll just change it to Akil. Okay, and now this is completely new record with one. Okay, employee. I'll try to insert it. So which is throwing error? What the error is? Duplicate entry one for key employees dot primary. So that means, so if you could say duplicate entry one, so which one is already available, right? So it is not allowing us to enter one, insert one. So that is what it should be unique. Okay, that is what it should be unique is the primary key should be unique. If I enter two, so now this would be inserted. Okay, now if I just enter this, so this is 1 2, so you can see. And now if I enter null, okay, null is nothing but null value. Okay, and I'll make this as Sindhu, and then I'll just try to insert this value. So you can see employee ID cannot be null. Okay, because primary key is nothing but not null plus unique. It should satisfy both the constraints. So that is why it is not accepting a duplicate value as well as null value. So this is primary case. Are you clear till this? Like how to create a table, how to use a database, like how to insert the values. So that's it. So if you wanted to, make sure that if you wanted to, since we have added these values in a proper sequence, employee ID, employee name, how you inserted. So if you want, if you want to make sure that whatever you are inserting is proper, I mean, just wanted to cross check again. So you can simply write like this. Maybe you might think that, I might have not made this in proper sequence. So in that case, you can write like this. Okay, maybe you can skip this to the last, and but the data should be at the last. Let's suppose if you write this employee name at the end of the salary, so even this should be also at the end of the salary. So just make sure that whatever how sequence you give here, the same sequence should be followed while in the giving the values. So now if I wanted to install multiple, insert multiple values, I'll write like this comma and then give some multiple values. Okay, so now this is how you insert multiple values. So you can see, now I have inserted 4 and 5 again. So this is all about inserting the data, selecting the data, and then creating a primary key, and then we have a foreign key. Okay, so now I'll just try to create a table, create table employees address. Well, okay, let's make it as project info. I'll just write project ID, and which is int, and then employee ID, which is foreign key. Okay, which is also int but foreign key. Okay, references employee dot employee ID. uh, yeah, let me enter this. Okay, so basically I have to make comma here, and then this one should be employee ID, which is referencing the employee, the products table, or this way. Okay, I think this should be removed. Spelling employees, and then this is table info and project ID, int and employee ID, and then I think it should be. Okay, so this is how you create so foreign key, which is employee ID is a foreign key, and which is referring the employees, employee ID from the employees table. So if you're trying to create something already this table should be exist. Okay, so because it will try to, whenever you're executing this query, it will try to check whether this employees table is available, in that employee ID is available. So now we have this, we have created this. Okay, so now I'll just try to show tables. Show tables. Perfect, right? So now I'll just try to insert some values, random values. Okay, insert into, where is this, employees project info, and then what is the first is project ID and employee ID. So now I'll just try to write values. Okay, so however I will enter in a sequence. Let's say project one. So is it a int? So yeah, then I have to make it as 123, something like that. Let's make it 123, and then employee ID. So you already know what are employee like what employee who like employee IDs are available. So we have till 1245. So total four employees are available. 1245. Let me try to insert some other value. Okay, 7. Okay, which is not available. So let's see whether this is possible. So you can see it's throwing an error. Cannot add or update a child row. Okay, if foreign key constraint fails. Okay, demo db3 dot employees project info constraint employee project info, something like references employee ID from the employees table. But where this 7 is not available, this particular employee is not available. So how can you insert that into the project info table? Because we are referencing this employee ID to the employees table, right? So this is what foreign key constraint is. So now if I try to insert value 2, it should work because this employee 2 is available in employees table. That's why he got a project. Okay. So if you think logically, this person is available. This employee 2 is available. Okay, let me copy paste. Okay, this person is available, right? This 2 is available in employees table. So that's why it, whenever when I try to insert this, so it is not throwing error, right? So now, so this for employee IDs can be multiple. Okay, let's suppose this particular person is in another project. Any IT employee can work in two different projects in company. So I mean that is what multitasking is, right? He can work on two different projects. He can give his time in one project and some time in another project. So likewise, if you think in that way, so this should be also possible. Okay, this should be also possible. So if you open this, so two, okay, employee ID 2 is assigned with two projects. Okay, here, here in this syntax, nothing is primary key. So if you could see, nothing is primary key. We only have foreign key here. Now you can add as well. So you can add primary key as well. So you can add any project ID or anything as primary key. But in this project like employees project info, if I add project ID as a primary key, so this will not work because multiple employees can work in same project, right? So in that case, now 2 is working in a 123 project. Okay, and then 3 is also working in 123 project. If I make this project ID as primary key, now 3 now I can't insert that, right? 123 comma 3. So I can't insert because project ID cannot be primary key because multiple persons can work on different projects. That's how you add one more record, 123 comma 3. So that means employee ID 3 is working in 123 project. Again 4, 123, like likewise. So did you get the concept of foreign key, primary key, and the syntaxes? So and one more thing. So this is called referential integrity. So if somebody is asking what is referential integrity in databases, so like this is called, this is foreign key is referring the primary key in the employees table. That is what foreign referential integrity is. So they might ask you in questions in a different ways what is referential integrity. So however, since you will be applying not as a fresher, so they won't even care of asking this kind of questions. But if you're a fresher, they will be asking what is referential integrity in SQL, what are acid properties, what is normalization. So if you're a fresher, but definitely you might be having some, you might be adding some experience in your resume. They might not ask this kind of things. They will straight away go into complex SQL queries. Like they'll give some input, okay, they'll give some input and write some input and desired output they will give you, and they'll ask you to write a query how to get the output. So that is what that is how interview is going to be for a data engineer. So yeah, as of now, are you clear with how to create a table, how to create a database, how to create a table with primary key, how to create a insert the values into the table using insert, and how to like reference this prime foreign key to the another tables column. So you're okay with this, right, till here? So if you have any questions, I'm stopping it till here, so you can ask me. Yeah. Anyone has any questions? Just speak out. I mean, it should be interactive session. Hello. Are you guys with me or
Yeah.
so? Are you clear, right?
Yeah, yes, Vinay.
Okay. And then one more thing, primary key is not only, like as of now, we have primary key for a single column, right? So let's suppose, so this one is primary key. So primary key can have, it can be combination of two columns as well. So that means it can be combination of two columns. Let's suppose you can create a primary key using employee ID as well as employee name as well. So I mean that means multiple primary keys. So like primary key with multiple columns. So like that one, basically, if you could see here, so if you could see here, you can in this here you can do that way. So project ID and employee ID. So this shouldn't be duplicate, right? So if you're working on 123 project and he's the employee called two, so then 123 comma two, right? So likewise that will be applied here. So let's suppose if I write it this way, like primary key. So this is a logic. This is logically correct. So if you think logically, so like primary key of employee ID, comma project ID. Okay. So this one, I'll just try to explain this again. So this is what primary key is. So here you can add two multiple columns like this. So that means these two things. It will check for duplicacy of this employee ID as well as project ID. So now I didn't execute this. Let's try to like insert some values. Like now I have 124 comma 2, right? If I enter it again, so this value is getting inserted. And again, if I just enter this, you can see duplicacy. Okay, 124 and again 2, 124 and 2, right? So in this case, how to remove this kind of duplicate things? So by employing primary key using two columns, right? So at that time, this will be helpful. At the time, primary key of employee ID, project ID. So if you want two columns to be unique, okay. So let's suppose 124 can let's suppose this one 124 comma 2, and again you are instead of 124 comma 2. This is nothing. This is basically it's wrong. It's wrong in the sense it shouldn't be like that. But 124 comma 3, it should be there, right? So 124, employee ID 3 can work on 124 project. Employee 4 can also work on 124 project. That means multiple members can work on a single project. So in that case, if we in that case it is possible, but even in that case, if you're trying to insert this value, this shouldn't be inserted, right? So in that case, if you simply write primary key of employee ID comma project ID, so then it will be unique, right? Employee ID is something and project ID is something. So if you combine both of them, it should be unique. So now what I will do, I'll just try to delete this table, okay, using drop statement, drop table project info, and then and enter it. So that means that table has been deleted. Now if I simply execute this show tables employees, so only one table is there. Now I will again recreate it. So I'll just recreate it, and then this is the show tables. Let me check whether the table is available right now. It's available, right? So now I'll just try to insert the value 124 comma 2. Okay, and again I will try to insert the value. It shouldn't be accepted. because we added primary key as employee ID as well as employee, sorry, project ID. So if I execute again, you can see duplicate entry 2 and like 2 hyphen 124 for key employee project info primary. So that is what I want. Okay. So now if you could see, only one recording is there. If I try to insert the same record again, I am showing you, it should throw error. It is throwing error as well. So that is what uh, primary key with multiple columns is. Okay, now if I try to enter 124 comma 3 employee, so that means okay, 3 employee is not available, right? Employee ID 3 is not available in database. Sorry, table employees table. So now 124 comma 4. So this should work. Okay. So combination of both should be unique. Okay, basically two columns, right? Combination of both should be unique. 124 hyphen 4. So it should be unique. So now if I enter this, select, so 124 comma 2, 124 comma 4. So that is what primary key with multiple columns are. Okay, and then I'm stopping till here. So today we have learned how to create a table with primary key, and today we have learned how to insert the values, and then how to create a foreign key employee. What is foreign key we have learned, and how to create a primary key with multiple columns, and then we have also learned how to insert the values, and then how to select the data using select star. So one more thing. So if you want only project ID, okay, if you want only employee ID, then instead of star, you can simply write select employee ID from employee project info. So you can see only this is how you select particular columns. If you want to select one more column, just you can give a comma and then write the column name. And if you wanted to get all the columns, however, it is star, select star from employees project info. So yeah, this is what is we also learn how to like drop a table as well, drop table in project info. That means deleting the table, removing the table with data. So yeah, next we will be in the next session we'll be talking on the different keys, the other keys, like data warehouse related kind of keys. Even there is no concept for, there is no syntax for how to create those keys, but we will talk about the keys, like surrogate key, some kind of keys are available. So they don't have syntax for creating. Okay, here you used primary key means we have some syntax, foreign key means some syntax, but there are few other concept of keys like surrogate key, candidate key, composite key, some kind of keys. So we'll be discussing on that in the next lecture. So as of now, we have foreign key and primary key syntax as well as concept. So there are some other keys, but yeah, that we don't have syntax for that. You can say candidate key. So we don't have, it is not recognized by the database MySQL workbench. So that means there is no syntax at all, but it's a concept. Okay, it's a concept. So we'll be discussing in the next class. And yeah, so do you guys have any doubt till here?
No, Vinay.
Yeah, yes, Sandeep. Do you have any doubts?
No, Vinay.
Okay. Then we can wrap up the session, and tomorrow we'll meet at the same time. Maybe tomorrow we'll start at 3. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I'll share the recording once after, maybe after it gets recorded in 15 minutes. So I'll share the recording and give you access. So yeah. So we are like we can wrap up the class. Thank you, guys.